Hey YouTubers. So, I'm going to do a little more work to the garage here. As you can see, the lighting's not the best. I have a fluorescent on this side of the garage. I used to have two of these, one on each side. And it does okay, but my big honkin' cargo container kind of blocks a lot of light over there. The camera's actually probably doing a little better job than what it is. You can see, but you're not going to be able to find and read things very well. So I need light on this side of the garage. On this side of the garage, I cheaped out a long time ago, and I got track light, which normally would not be cheap. What happened here is those light heads were on sale at Lowe's at one point for $2.50 each with the bulbs. And then I don't know if you can see it or not, I'll try and zoom in there. I got the track for like next to nothing because there's a big honkin' bend in it right there. Like they folded it over, they hit it with a forklift or something. So I got it for like $4 or something. The most expensive thing I think I have in there is I replaced all the bulbs with LED bulbs from IKEA and the end piece that hooks it all up. So there's like $30 up there for that, which is not bad for a light. And it does pretty good because I can direct it and it kind of gives it that classy showroom feel, which is kind of what I was going for this side of the garage here. But for this side, this is more work industrial-ish area once all this stuff gets out of here. So I've made a couple of LED lights. What I did was I went to Amazon and I bought myself some El Cheapo LED, this brand right here, LE, whatever. And they're kind of like a yellow white light, which I was kind of surprised that I actually got that. When I bought some others before, and they're red, blue, greens, and they combined together to make a white light, which was really a bluish color. And so it was kind of like hard to say that, where you really want to get something that was kind of like light color instead of blue. These are actually pretty good. These are like bright daylights, what they call it, but it's got a little bit of yellow tint, just like a regular incandescent light bulb, pretty much. But the only difference is these suckers are super bright. These things do have to be wired together. Like it comes with a factory end on the end. Right here, you can see that. I don't know. But since I have to run it in a strip down and then come around the curve and come to this side, I can't run it up again here. So you have, and the good thing is it's cuttable and linkable. You can buy little link connectors, or you can solder. I chose to solder this in. My soldering is not the greatest, and I forgot to put my shrink wrap on one wire, which is the negative. It's 12 volt DC, so it's not like crazy. The other side is shrink wrap. But the thing I've all read about this is everybody complains about the number one thing is the adhesive backing. And they say it's 3M. It's not. Because it says M. That's exactly what the backing is. That's the 3M block font, but it is not 3M backing on there. Which is kind of funny because the same company that sells it in the waterproof version actually has 3M backing on the back. It actually says 3M on it, which I was really blown away by. And here we go. You can see that one. 3M. There you go. Same brand, just this is waterproof because I use that roll outdoors for another project. This is indoor, non-waterproof rated, so it doesn't have the silicone under it. And it doesn't have real 3M backing because that actually stuck. The other stuff. This stuff doesn't stick. I mean, it's sticking right now, but what I've done is I use staples in here. So if we can get some of that close up here, that's pretty horrible. But I put staples, I'd say about every 4 to 6 inches, missing the places where it's cuttable and solderable because you don't want to ground it out with each other. But and then the nice thing is one end of the strip has wires already on it. They're already soldered on there, connected, so you can link another set to it. The thing is, if you link a whole bunch of these together, you're probably going to start losing voltage. And I did check. I was putting 12 volts in at this end. It was like 11.8 with the power converter. And then I checked it with my multimeter at this end, and I was getting like 10.8-ish. So you're losing about a volt. And this is 16 feet and change is what they say. It's like 5 meters. So it's 5 meters around this. This is 54 inches, I think. It's something I had a piece of wood left over. I just cut it with some bevels on it so I could kind of disperse the light at an angle. And I figured I could show you guys the difference. This is with 2 lights on. You know, the track lights and the big fluorescent. So I figured I'd show you guys what this actually looks like. And this is probably going to blind the camera and make a big mess. Who knows? We're going to experiment here because I've never tried to use this little camera at night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the LED lights on and turn the overhead lights off so you guys can see how bright these actually are. I'm kind of impressed with them. They actually do light up pretty well. And one thing you got to remember, they're not facing down. This is facing upwards into the garage. So you can see they add quite a bit of light already to that area over there. But I think it's going to be more impressive when I turn the lights off. Let's see how that looks on the camera. It's actually lighting up pretty darn well for just 2 little lights. You know, about the size of a 4-foot long fluorescent lamp, and it lights up my whole entire garage. It lights up over there, which with my camera, if I go and turn the, let me see if I can unplug it, I'll show you that we're going to be in total darkness here. That's the lights on and off. There's the baby monitor right there, so you can tell I'm not, and we'll put it on there, off, on. Okay, and it's screwing with the camera with the lights like that. But I wanted to show you guys that those things are pretty bright. You know, the pictures kind of just don't do it justice, and I'm sure this camera's not doing it justice. But that's 2 strips of 16 feet. So there it was one of those LED 32-foot combo kits. And it was like $8 for the LEDs, for the lights. And then I had to buy an adapter for, I needed a 12-volt power adapter. And the little man is calling me, so we will probably get to you guys later. Okay, YouTubers. So I figured after my last ramblings, I actually put them up on the ceiling here. That's lights drowning it out a little bit. I don't have any cables hooked up correctly per se. They're just the splitters up there and this. I have my converter box there on that just to kind of keep the weight off because I need to mount all that up in the garage there. But this is with the other lights off, and it lights up the whole garage. I mean, you can see over there, the area's a little dark over there, but you know what? For $8, and the converter box is $8, so $16 roughly, and an old scrap piece of wood. And I think I did buy the splitter. I think the splitter was, it was kind of crazy how much that was like $5. But I spent over $50 when I was ordering on Amazon, of course, so you get free shipping. So, because I bought other things. Anyways, so, you know, let's just say $20 for the lights and for the converter box, and then $25, you know, and just kind of put it that way, rough math. So for about $25, which I don't think you can go and get a fluorescent assembly for $25. That is pretty nice. That does a pretty good job, man. It lights up the toolbox. It lights up the whole work area really nice. I mean, there is no trouble seeing anything in here. It's got a good glow to it. It's not overbearing. It's got a little bit of a yellowy fluorescent type hue to it, which is fine. I was really concerned that it would be the blue, like fake, well, not fake, but you know, the early model LEDs are blue, and I was really concerned it was going to be like that. I think putting the little lights on an angle you can't see it, but that little 30-degree cut kind of did do a nice, I can see on the wall here a little bit of a like shadow line from that, and even kind of over here where that box is not blocking it. So I can see there's a ridge right here. You can see that right about there. And some of that's probably the shadow, but mostly I think that is just because I have that on an angle. So now we'll turn on the other lights, and I think you guys can see that. It comes out much brighter now with both lights on. And of course these I can angle down here, so they got light back there. I've got my whole work area over here lit up really nicely. I have this area lit up nicely, which this was like a dungeon back here. So all my extras are lit up, and even the back of the bug. Yeah, there's not much room in here anymore because I put the little fence up there, but it was worth it. Keep the kids off the car. But I got light back here finally, and I'm going to go turn the LEDs out so we can see, well, unplug it from here, what type of change this is. I'm going to keep over here because this is going to get darkest. Alright. Camera doesn't show justice here, but this area back here is pretty dark. If you're trying to read a label or something, I mean, you can find an object, but you know, if it's small, you ain't finding it. Over here, the back of the bug, you can see now there's like shadows and all that. That's pretty dark under there. Underneath the car there would be pretty dark. So for around 25 bucks there, like I say, I could do real math and just off the top of my head try and remember what everything was. That's a pretty good deal. I'm thinking that's pretty cool. And like I say, I just mounted it. My joists go this way, so I just mounted it that way. I mounted the LEDs on both sides of the 30-degree cut I made, and then I didn't have enough to go like all the way down the strip and all the way back. It goes all the way down, and then it comes about 3/4 back. Same thing with that one. You know, there's LEDs on that side, there's LEDs on that side. So, you know, so far, I'd say if you're thinking about doing that type of stuff for a work light, maybe pretty good. I know you can only hook so many of these strips together before you start having a problem with the voltage dropping off too far. I don't know what that footage would be. It'd probably be the 32-foot range. Like I say, I'm losing a volt at the end of my strip. So you're going from 12 to around 10 and a half or 10.8, I think it was. And then if you add another strip, you're going to go from 10 down to maybe, if it keeps the same rate, it'd probably be 9 or something, but electricity doesn't work that way. It's not always proportional. So, you know, it's probably going to be a little more. You may have a strip that's really bright at one end, and then as this thing gets down there, it's more dull. You know, I guess the only solution to that would be more transformers. I know they have like repeaters and stuff. I'm not really too keen on all this stuff anyways. I'm just some guy doing it in his garage. That right there is pretty impressive. I'm gonna probably plug that in one more time. So I kind of like seeing it. Let's see here. Plug that in. Bam. Get this thing ready. Alright. So look at the back of there. That's my dark point. And bam. Lights are on. That is good. So, like I say, I should have took pictures as I was putting them up. But, you know, I'll kind of mix photos and this together and make a video out of it. But I'm pretty impressed. The garage is starting to become something. Got lights finally. Thankfully the Chinese work cheap. You know, that all may change here in a little while. But, you know, I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with what this light strip. And that was the LE brand. This is their waterproof one. I actually used this out in my backyard to make like a pole light, because where the kids' little playhouse is, and I only used, it lights up crazy bright. These are different size LED, I think, than those up there. And this thing, being it's outdoors too, you don't have the light reflecting on stuff, but it really did well. So that one was waterproof. These are not waterproof, but for the price that you pay, that was a pretty good value. Now, with this may burn out next week, and I'll probably give a long-term update on it. But I'm thinking, if you're trying to do a garage project lighting, so far this is a pretty good way to go. So once again, this is a Shade Tree. We're signing off. If you like any of the videos, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, and get your projects out there. Let's all have some fun. Let's get our stuff together, and let's get our garbage cleaned out of our garage. My goodness, this has got to stop. Alright, see y'all.